So in the next example, I have y equals e to the square root of x. So notice that we have a function inside of a function, right? So we can think of this as two functions, f to e to the x and g of x as square root of x, okay? So technically we have the g of x function into the f of x function. So this is like the composition, right? So again, we have this composition of functions where we have one function plugged into another function. All right, so when we are doing the derivative for a function inside of the composition of functions, we're going to use what we call the chain rule. And the derivative then is now just going to be f prime of g of x times g prime of x. So the first thing we need to do is figure out f prime of x, which is the derivative of e to x, which is just going to be e to the x. And then we need to figure out the derivative of g to the x, which we could write as x to the 1/2. And again, the derivative using this power rule is going to be x to the 1/2 to minus 1/2 here. So which is another thing is writing 1 over 2 times x to the 1/2 power. So by now, go ahead and finding y prime. That is going to be my f prime of x, which is just going to be so that's going to be e to the, again, of f prime is going to e to the square root of x. And that's going to be times 1/2 x to the 1/2 power. So therefore, that's going to equal now, if I write this as e to the square, let's go a little bit lower. E to the square root of x over 2 times x to the 1/2. And then again, you could write that as the square root of x again if you want to, or you could leave it as a rational power.